called Love, Laundry, and Letting Things Dough. Yes, I said dough, not go, and I'll tell you why later. I'm not going to make you wait to the end like everyone else does. I'm not going to do all that stuff. Okay, I will say subscribe once. Okay, I did it. What does it mean to be with the same person for years? Old love, maintaining love, rediscovery of love. Well, first you fall in love. It's euphoria. Everything is wonderful. Oh, you see all the good traits in them, and it's just wonderful. And that's what you see on TV. But you know what? Love is multifaceted. I hate to admit this, but I am hooked on a soap opera. Yes, I am. GH. It's really dumb and it's really immoral, completely opposed to any of my own beliefs, but I'm hooked on it. And I got to tell you, I watch it, but Love on GH is about as unrealistic as it gets. It actually makes me laugh when they have serious scenes there. Oh, they're just telling each other, oh, the wonderful things you do for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, who does that? And I actually looked at my husband one day and I said, have we ever done that? Have we ever just said anything remotely like that? He just laughed and walked out of the room. So anyway, not even in our marriage vows. So I think it's dangerous for young people to expect the other person to constantly tell them all their wonderfulness. That's not how reality works. That's not how love works. And I'm not saying you can't compliment each other. Sure you can. But you don't go into these long, glowing dialogues. I mean, it's ridiculous. You say, thanks, honey, for taking out the trash. I really appreciate it. Oh, gosh, you did the dishes this morning. Yay! That kind of stuff. But usually it's just the opposite. Our loved ones like to point out our little annoying habits, like letting the water run and run while you're brushing your teeth, wasting water. I won't say who does that, Jim. But anyway, those are the things that we notice and the things that drive us nuts. So how do you deal with it? How do you keep going? How do you stay married 50 years and still love each other? Well, I forgot one other pet peeve of mine. Taking dirty laundry and throwing it right next to the laundry basket that says laundry in large letters. On the floor, not in, next to the laundry basket. I don't get that. I've talked to other wives and their husbands do the same thing. I'm like, can you explain that to me? Anyway, moving on. These stupid little annoying things, they can really annoy you if you let them. They can destroy you, believe it or not. You just have to let some of those things go. Now, speaking of go and dough, when my granddaughter was very little, she was so precious and such a wonderful little singer. She was singing let it dough, all over the house repeatedly. And it was precious. She was trying to say, let it go, from the Disney song in Frozen. And so every once in a while, my husband and I say to each other, you know what, let it dough. And then we laugh. It's awesome. That little thing, let it dough. Don't forget that. Let it dough. Just let it go. Let it go. Mel Robbins says that. Let it go. She's right. Anyway, another thing that I think is really important, in fact, one of the most important things, other than faith, I think, and a natural attraction, I guess I like my husband's pheromones, I guess. That's what they say. You must learn to laugh. Laughter can rescue a marriage. It can save a marriage. It can maintain a marriage. It can maintain love. But I'll tell you what, laughter will keep your sanity. And we've never lost our sense of humor, even in severe crisis. Sometimes we'll crack a joke at a funeral. I mean, that's how you cope. Learn to tolerate, learn to laugh, have faith, and enjoy the little things that you love about that person. Let them know once in a while. My husband blew my mind this week. He brought me flowers for nothing. It wasn't Mother's Day, it wasn't my birthday, it wasn't Valentine's Day. I'm like, well, what's this for? It was wonderful. It was such a fun surprise. Surprises are good. Anyway, it was a little thing, but it really meant a lot to me. It was very sweet. And he just did it for nothing after 50 years. That's awesome. Doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, it's great. See the other person's strengths. Bask in the everyday nothingness. Let me say that again. Bask in the everyday nothingness of just being together, hanging out, sitting on the couch, discussing things. Enjoy a sandwich outside on a sunny day. That's one of our favorite things to do. Sit out on the front porch and have a sandwich. We love that. Once in a while, if I'm good, I'll get some potato chips. I love it when he brings home my favorite potato chips. Or if he just remembers something that I like. That really impresses me. Anyway, love starts out as euphoria, a feeling, and then that feeling moves to action. Then to perseverance, familiarity, and comfort. And you know what? Comfort is okay. Best friends is okay. Just hanging out, that's okay. Don't expect too much from your partner. I think that's probably one of the main things that I see is over expectations are killers. Don't have a preconceived idea of what you think marriage is or a long-term relationship is or love. Just don't have those high expectations. I know I'm terrible for that. And I learned this a long time ago. Like, if I was going to go to Disneyland, I haven't been there since 1998, but if I was going to go to Disneyland, don't have any expectations. Say, oh, it's going to be okay. Because don't build it up so much. In fact, when my kids were little, we would not tell them that we were going to Disneyland or whatever it was we were going to do, the beach or something. We didn't tell them until that morning. We'd say, get up. Guess what we're doing today? We're going to the beach. And it was amazing. That way there was no long drama and expectations. It was just, ooh, spontaneous fun. So spontaneity is good in a marriage. So in a long-term relationship or in a marriage, there are times when you do fall out of love. In fact, there's times when you can't stand each other. You might even hate each other. We've been through that. And when that happens and the feeling evaporates, my best advice, wait. Wait it out. Just wait it out. And you might be surprised. It might just return on its own. Give it some time. Love, passion, feelings, they change. And plain old boredom sometimes, or maybe you're not feeling well or you're going through a crisis, give each other some slack. Give your partner some time. My husband has to be alone. He has to do his own thing. What was I talking about? Just give each other some slack, give each other some room. Don't like follow them around the house. Let them have their own alone time. It's okay. And have your own lives. Have your own interests, your own hobbies, some things you do separately as well. You can just crush somebody with love and too much affection, I've seen. So as independent as my husband is, and as maddening as it is sometimes, because I'm a homebody and, I like lots of attention. I was the middle child, so, I never got any attention. Now I want it all. I admit it, I love being a princess. But, that's not happening. So I had to accept it and take it when I can get it. Now, he does bring me coffee that he makes every morning. I just love this. This has only been going on for about a year or so. He just started making me coffee because every time I try to make it, I make a mess and I spill it everywhere. He finally said, get out of the kitchen. Just let me do it. So he makes this wonderful coffee and he froths my goat milk and froths it on top, just like they do at, the coffee shops. And then he sprinkles Vietnamese cinnamon on top. Oh my gosh, that cinnamon is powerful and wonderful. And every morning it's a new design. Sometimes it's a heart, sometimes it's a flower, sometimes it's a duck. But he doesn't do the designs on purpose, but they do emerge. So I started taking pictures of the designs. I love that. It's so fun. But he waits on me for coffee every morning, and it's become our little routine. He turns the fireplace on for me, gets me a blanket. I mean, that's very nurturing and very rare for him to be that nurturing soul, and I really soak it in. I just love it. Anyway, try not to worship your loved one or set them up on such a high pedestal that when they do fail, and they will, that, they can't make it back up on the throne of your affection. Let me say that again. When they fall off that pedestal, they can't make it back up on the throne of your affection. Don't worship your partner. Don't have unreal expectations. People make mistakes. Love fluctuates with crisis, betrayal, the everyday stuff of life, birth of a child, death of a parent, illness. Sometimes, love is just a decision. You decide to stay. You decide to forgive. You decide to move on and to accept. I think Mel Robbins talks about that kind of stuff. You ought to check her out. She's really funny. My favorite is her getting out of bed. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious in the morning. Absolutely hilarious. She slithers. I love that because I am not a morning person, but my husband is. Anyway, so you choose to love, but I don't believe in unconditional love. I hear that a lot and go, no, that's BS. You don't choose to love unconditionally. You love in spite of. You love with a few conditions attached. And here's my conditions. No abuse, ever, period. No abuse. No verbal abuse. No physical abuse. No emotional abuse. No, you don't tolerate that in a relationship, period. I'm sorry, we're done. You might get one tiny chance. That's it. That's got to be, you got to protect yourself. You got to love yourself. Don't think you're going to fix him or her. You can't fix it if they're a drug addict or they're an alcoholic. You can't fix that. You can't fix it if they're abusive. So protect yourself. Get out and protect your kids. So that's why I don't believe in unconditional love. Love does have conditions. You must treat each other decently. But having said that, when people make other mistakes, maybe they betray you, they cheat on you, they tell you they don't love you. I don't know. There's all kinds of things. They make some kind of mistake. Don't be too quick to move on. Think about this. The next person you be with might have more baggage. When I went to a counselor one time, before we got married, I went to a counselor for a couple of months. And the counselor told me, choose your pain. If you leave your partner and you go with a new partner, you're trading one set of problems for another. Okay, let that sink in. You are trading one set of problems for another. So, if you're contemplating having an affair or trying to find someone else or getting out and your marriage is, not abusive, that's a given. But you're just bored or you think you want to marry somebody who gets you or, something else. You're just trading one set of problems for another. Nobody's perfect. Our humanity is there and it's real. And I don't care how glorious that other person looks when you first meet them. There's baggage. We all have it. The other person will have a set of problems. They'll have issues. Anyone you choose will have problems because we are human. We make mistakes. We all have some kind of baggage. So anyway, if you take anything away from this, being with someone for many, many years it's action. You choose the action of staying. You stay, you forgive, you tolerate, you accept. And, you just try to have fun. It's really important just to have fun and to laugh. I hope you can laugh with your partner because I think honestly, other than God, I think laughter has saved us. We both have a really funny personality and outlook on life. And, we kind of, maybe it stems from Saturday Night Live. I don't know. When we were younger, my mother used to think that was a terrible show. Now it's pale in comparison to what's going on in the world now. But try to laugh, try to look at things, on the good side if you can. And, give me a comment. Let me know if you agree with me, disagree with me, or if you have some other tips, something you think I've missed. If you've been in a long-term relationship and you have a secret, let me know. I'd like to know because I'm still working on it. All right, this is Gutsy Grandma, and, my husband gave me that name. He said, you're Gutsy Grandma, and I went, ooh, I like that.